Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the Faith Forward podcast. Today's guest is someone who knows a thing or two about this show. He's originally from Oceanside, New York, and is a sophomore majoring in sports communication and media and minoring in marketing and film and television. On campus, he is part of the peer ministry team, has started 2 podcasts, and is a part of the Knights of Columbus. Although he's usually behind the scenes making sure this podcast runs smoothly, he joins me at the desk to talk about his faith. Alex de la Teja, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much, Nick, for having me.
Is it weird to be on this side of the table and not back there?
I think it's a little unusual, you know, when I'm usually back there with Caliri, making sure the show runs smoothly, like you said.
Yes.
But I'm glad to be here, and I'm happy to talk about my faith.
Well, I'm glad to have you here because back there you're very silent, and it's a lot of me talking, so I'm glad to hear from you. So first question, what was your faith like growing up in Oceanside, New York?
Oceanside, New York. Of course, we're both from Long Island.
Yes.
So I would say it's pretty similar to your faith as well. I grew up Catholic, and my parents raised me to be Catholic, but they didn't force it on me. They presented the idea of, we're Catholic, this is what we do on Sundays, we go to church, and of course they put me through the religious education program, and I got my first communion, I got my confirmation, but it didn't really get to a point where I was so serious about my faith up until after middle school, when I got to Catholic school. That's really when I started taking it serious, and I think I thank that a lot to my high school Kellenberg Memorial, because they allow your faith to flourish so much in that school. You're able to have so many opportunities where you can pray, where you can participate in dialogue with people of religious life, like the brothers there. Shout out Brother Pat too. But yeah, it was where that it started. So once I got to high school, that's when I joined Eucharistic ministers, who were really responsible for a lot of the people that were in the school, like help bringing them into the faith, and also Eucharistic ministering for masses. And for people that were off campus, people in elderly homes, we would go over there. We would give the Eucharist to them because they weren't able to leave the homes. And Kellenberg was really the place where my faith journey truly started.
There's a lot of parallels between your story and my story. You went to Kellenberg, I went to Chaminade, you were Eucharistic minister, I was Eucharistic minister. And there is that shift from public school to Catholic school.
Yeah, for sure.
What was that like for you? Was it hard for you to adjust? Was it, I know you said that it was pivotal for you to grow in your faith. So what was that transition like? Yeah,
well, middle school and elementary school, even though I went through the religious education, I really just saw it as, steps that my parents made me do, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really know the importance of it up until going to high school, where it was allowed for, or it was there was more opportunity for me to show my faith and to participate in it. But at first I didn't want to go to Kellenberg. Actually, I was nervous of not making any friends over there. I had my Oceanside friend group, which I'm still friends with those guys to this day, but I didn't really want to leave because I thought that it was gonna be something that I wouldn't enjoy, and ended up being probably one of the best decisions of my life so far. So
wow.
Yeah,
no, I went through the same thing, and it's hard to leave from one place where you're so comfortable and then go somewhere else that's totally new and totally different, and you don't know, it's unknown.
And Kellenberg really prepares you not only like spiritually, but also for college. And I'm sure you could say the same. Like, the workload that they give you is so heavy that it prepares you for the workload you're going to get in school.
Yes.
In college.
That's right. And I wanted to ask you about college. What about Sacred Heart drew you here? I know it's Catholic school. Was that a big part of it for you?
I think that was probably the sucker punch of like, I'm going to this school kind of thing. I honestly think that the thing that drew me in was the hockey arena. because working in sports communication and also being a fan of hockey, I knew that would be a great opportunity for me to, work on broadcasts there, be at those games, and I knew that like this was a place I could see myself. And that was something that I saw at Kellenberg too. So it was like I had that same feeling in both schools, which that made me think, this is the right choice. Like God led me to be where I am, like where I'm going to school now. So like, yeah, Sacred Heart, definitely the hockey, but again, like I said, the faith as well. The faith, the campus ministry programs are amazing here, and now working on PMT, like it's just great. It's awesome.
I wanted to get into that. Tell me about your role in PMT this year.
So,
what did you do?
Yeah, so I'm part of the marketing ministry, which we kind of have a foot in all directions of campus ministry. Like we help to create content for the Instagram. We help to create content to market those other pillars that have events. So let's say that they're having adoration, like they having it tonight on Wednesday. We're the ones that are responsible for putting those posts up. Sometimes they ask us to make the posts as well. So it's kind of like you help out each and every pillar, and it takes a lot to like be able to work with them and help them schedule certain things, help to build different community engaging posts. So yeah, marketing's been great though, and I know Naya shouted me out, so I'll shout her out again as well. So
that's great. And we've had so many members of the PMT on this show, as you know, and a lot of them are graduating, but you are going into your junior year and you're still on PMT. So what is your role going to look like next year? Doing the same thing? Anything a little different?
I think it'll be fairly similar to what it was this year. But I think that, in order to help those younger people or the people that weren't on PMT to flourish in the same role that I had this year, I think that I have to kind of assist them as well. And I think that they're going to be fully capable. We have such a great team that's coming in now that I know that we're in good hands. But I think helping them, like assisting them with the work that I did in my first year, will give them such a good step in the right direction that we're able to do bigger and better things in the future.
You were also very creative this year with the Easter egg hunt. I know that was a big hit around campus. You hit eggs, and they had the little Jesus in it and the little Bible quotes. Is there any more creative things you're thinking about doing for next year, or we just got to wait and see?
Well, the egg hunt will be making a return.
Okay.
I have to see what else we can do. I want to do something fun. I just like, I like themes.
Yeah.
So I think if we could do something related to Christmas, maybe
yes.
Something fun. Then I think maybe we should implement something like that. Kind of unrelated to marketing. I do want to bring, like I said about the Kellenberg Eucharistic ministers.
Yes.
We would give out we would give out the Eucharist to people in the elderly homes. So I thought that would be something nice to implement into the peer ministry team that we have here, because I think that's an important thing. I think the elderly, I experienced it firsthand. The elderly love when people come by and they visit and they bring the Eucharist. It just puts a smile to their face, and it's an enlightening experience for both sides. Even for someone who was the minister, it's just amazing. So I do want to ask them about that and see if maybe they will implement that. But yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm expecting big things from you next year. I'm sure it'll be great.
Before
we keep going, we're going to take a quick break and hear a message from Motherboards. Faith isn't just a ride, it's a lifestyle. At Love Your Motherboards, we make premium skateboards and snowboards with authentic Catholic art that speaks to your soul and your style. Motherboards, built for believers. So, as a media major, what does it mean to you that you're able to combine your passion in your career and your faith with something like this podcast? You are a producer on this podcast, and you're in the back, and you're one of the head honchos here of this little crew. So what does it mean to you?
Well, I think communication is just so important. into especially today's world, because people aren't communicating anymore, and it shows. I think that media is a great tool because it can be used for such powerful things in both ways. And so why not use it to spread the message of God and the message of Jesus Christ? I think that is so important. And I think just what we're doing and like what we're accomplishing in making this podcast, it's beautiful because people watch it and they say, oh, look at that. Look at how inspiring that faith story is. Maybe I should implement that into my life. I think that you have to keep that core concept of faith in everything that you do, no matter what major you are. So even for me, even though I want to go into sports, I know that keeping the faith in the little things that I do in everyday life and even in my major is so important. So I think that, how we say, we have the other podcast, Stickball, even saying something like God bless, little thing, but I think that it goes a long way.
Yeah. Well, you know what? For me, it's been a gift for me. After 14 episodes, hearing from 14 different people with 14 unique stories, people from all over, all walks of life, and you hear their perspective of their faith and what they've been through, and it's been really rewarding. And Alex, there would be no podcast without you because you were the one that spearheaded this and, kind of put the, pedal to the metal, and you made it happen. So,
thanks, Peter.
Absolutely. So without you, there would be no podcast. So I think I got to thank you for this because it really is a gift. It's combining both my passion too for journalism and doing this and my faith.
Yeah. And to add on to the thing about the stories, like I realized that as doing 14 episodes of this already, we hear like there's like some snippet from each person's story that we're like, wow, that was great. Like last week, it was Caden's Met story. I thought that was amazing.
Yes.
There's been like, the one with the tandem bike. I think that was Rena that said that about how, you're riding with the tandem bike. Yeah. Like everyone has a different perspective, but it's all, pointing towards the same direction.
Yeah.
And so I think it's amazing that we're able to accomplish this. And you deserve credit as well, being the best host that we can have. So and Caliri, who's not here, but he's great as well. So we make a good team.
Yes. Yeah. So you are a knight. You're in the Knights of Columbus here. It's brand new this year, and you are kind of an inaugural member. So what does it mean for you to be on the Knights of Columbus?
It's just so amazing to be able to have that opportunity. I never thought that I would be a knight. Because Knights of Columbus has actually been a prevalent thing in Oceanside, where I'm from. And I never really, I saw them as the guys with the feathery hats and the swords. Yeah. But it's so much more than that. And here, no one's using that, but they are having that same message. So, yeah, it's very meaningful. It was very impactful. The first event that we had was the March for Life in Hartford.
Yes.
That was great.
Hayden talked about that he spoke about it last episode.
Yeah, it was like so amazing to see so many people supporting that that cause. And I know that there's going to be so much more events that Knights of Columbus hosts and helps out with, that it's so important that we have this on campus. And it's amazing that Chris Leby, who's the founder, started it. He's great as well. Even Matt Gavigan, who we had on the show as well. Yeah. He's a part of it. So yeah, there's going to be great things to come with Knights of Columbus.
It's very exciting, and I'm sure you're excited about it too. So you're going into your junior year. You got a lot going for you. How will you continue to move your faith forward?
I think continuing to evangelize is important. I think bringing the message to others is crucial to our faith. And I also think that keeping that same level of faith and just going upwards with it, always going upwards with it, is something that we should all do. I think we can always do more for our faith, whether that's adding, a rosary to your day or your week, reading a little scripture here and there. So I think finding that routine of, this is what I'm going to do to praise God. Because I think it goes past just going to Mass on Sundays. I think you have to practice it each and every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to keep a good routine. I think that's how I will move my faith forward.
I love that. And growth is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That's all you can do. Mm-hmm. But Alex, I thank you so much for joining me here on this side of the table.
Thank you.
And I don't even have to thank you in the back because you're right here. So thank you for putting on this show again.
Of course.
And thank you all for watching episode 14. And we'll see you next time on Faith Forward.
God bless.